First of all, thanks, John, for inviting me here today, and thanks for all the work that you do for Scotland and for Scots Americans. It's very much appreciated. I think this symposium is incredibly important as a way to bring diaspora leaders together on this auspicious date, and I was fortunate enough to meet Mike McIntyre again last night. I'll not be here tonight, but I took the opportunity to thank him for all he's done for Scotland when he was in the House. Last year was my first Tartan Day here in the USA, and a lot has changed since then. The COVID pandemic rumbled on, but now finally, and with no small amount of loss both here and at home, it feels like we've returned to a slightly more normal life and we can actually be together again. The threat that we face from that virus is we've got to stand our perspective against the existential threat faced daily by our allies and friends in Ukraine, which, like the pandemic, has reminded us of the ways in which we live in an international world and an international community. Scotland has, of course, offered Ukraine significant support in terms of supplies, materials and funding. We've housed a significant number of refugees, as we believe is our duty. We and all of Europe have been hugely grateful for the unprecedented support that the US has offered to Ukraine in the face of unwarranted Russian aggression. I had the honour of meeting the Ukrainian Defence Attaché to the US last night, and I was able to tell him personally how much we admire the Ukrainian military and the Ukrainian people. During Tartan Week last year, I had the Cabinet Secretary for External Affairs and Culture, Angus Robertson, here in DC, and with me in New York as well. And throughout the rest of the year, I welcomed the now former First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon MSP, in DC. We had our Environment Minister, Margaret McCallum, in New York during Climate Week, and our Trade Minister, Ivan McKee, on the West Coast. In New York next week, I'll be hosting Mr. Robertson again, and I know he's really looking forward to being there. And he's sad that he couldn't be here in DC to break over Easter with heartbeat, meant that he couldn't do both, but having out on family at home. Now, that's more visits than anyone else gets, and I could probably do with a break from all of them. I think what it shows is how important the US is as a partner to Scotland, and it's a leader in supporting the rules-based order in the fight against climate change, in trade, investment and innovation, and of course the eternal bonds of culture and family. With this being the 25th anniversary of Tartan Day, I'd like to reflect a little bit about what's changed in those 25 years as well, because 25 years feels like a lifetime away. Since the first Tartan Day in the US, or as I was reminded by Don Russell's video, probably not the first Senate recognised Tartan Day in the US, a lot of things have changed. We had the tragedies of 9/11 and numerous other ones which have challenged our views of how safe we are at home and abroad. We've got greater understanding of the climate crisis. We've had financial booms and busts more than once, wars in Iraq, Afghanistan, the COVID pandemic, the Me Too movement, Black Lives Matter, and the beginning of our reckoning with the legacy and impact of empire. One of the most impactful things during that time has been the growth of the internet, and with it the proliferation of connected devices like the ubiquitous cell phone and social media. And we know that social media and our connected existences can have a negative effect, spreading disinformation, online bullying, and is responsible for such atrocities as the career of Justin Bieber. But it can also be a huge positive, allowing us to share ideas and make connections, new links. In my office, we've seen our online presence and connectivity reap huge rewards, bringing new people into Scotland's orbit. And this is something I want to challenge all of us here to do, to build new relationships. Our relationships across Scotland and the US shouldn't just be with those who have familial links, as important as those are. But we should be reaching out to those who have an affinity for Scotland by virtue of working there, studying there, visiting, or just a recognition of shared values, as I found out when I was talking to a senior Danish diplomat last night, who's just ordered his first kilt because he loves how we operate in Scotland. That was one of the best moments of my day last night. We had hundreds of Scots in our room, we had pipes and drums in the British Embassy, but hearing from someone at a senior level in another government saying how much he loved Scotland, that he was prepared to spend all the money it takes to get a kilt built, bought and fitted for him, it was quite incredible.
What tartan did he choose?
He has chosen the Black Watch, which I'm happy with because my wife's a Campbell, so works for her. No, I think what it shows is you don't need Scottish blood to have Scotland's spirit. You can be born Scottish, you can be of Scottish descent, or you can choose to be Scottish, and everyone is welcome. And I'm reflecting back on the changes that the last 25 years have brought. It does strike me that a lot has changed, but in places perhaps not enough. And what that troubles me when I have events which my office puts on, when I go to diaspora events around the country, is the lack of diversity in our diaspora and in the organisations. Too many people here and at other events look like me, and that doesn't reflect modern Scotland. It doesn't reflect those who are interested in modern Scotland, and we collectively, I think, can do better. We had a female First Minister for the best part of a decade, but I think I counted one female speaker at this conference. We have a new First Minister who is a Muslim, Scottish, and is son of Pakistani immigrants, and my nieces and nephews have the names of Scottish sporting stars on the back of their jerseys with heritage from all over the world. But I don't think we have any non-white speakers or attendees at this conference. We collectively can do better. There'll be a lot of interesting discussions today about heraldry, ancestry and genealogy, which I think are hugely important and interesting. But if we're going to build the Scotland we want to see, then we need to think about the future as much as the past. We need to think about bringing in new or affinity Scots into our organisations, into our events, and into our groups. And John, the comment you made about having a bigger tent, that expanding really resonated with me. I think that's hugely important. Many of our societies have long histories and deep traditions, things that we value, things that are cherished by members, and making changes to diversify and open up isn't always easy. But without a willingness to change, we risk falling membership numbers and a lack of relevance. Scotland has always been relevant to the US. We can't have that. Scotland has engaged and influenced the entire world. Our history is one of cherishing the past, but also looking to the future. That's why we have such an incredible history as inventors and creators. In reaching out more, perhaps we need to reckon with our own values, our priorities, and challenge ourselves to be more inclusive and more empathetic. It's a journey that I hope we're all ready to take together. Now, I see this as a challenge to you as diaspora leaders and organisations. It's a challenge to me as well. And I've been involved recently with the development of the Scottish Government's first diaspora strategy to help take steps towards addressing this. Now, this isn't published until next week, so I'll have to swear you off to secrecy, but I can tell you a little bit about what we're going to do. We're going to embrace more digital technologies. We're going to do more to bring in new Scots, including reaching out to the alumni community, and we'll help Scots and those with a love of Scotland around the world connect more easily online. On Tuesday, that report called Scottish Connections will be published, and you'll see the plans in full. I want to tell you that our door is open for you to embrace this, to tell us how we can do more together. The future stretches out in front of us, so please see this as an invitation to all those who share our values of fairness, inclusion and honour, to consider yourself part of the journey to be more inclusive in our ideals of Scottishness, to connect more widely, and to do more together, not just to promote the Scotland of the past that we all love, but to promote the Scotland of the future. In those efforts, you will always find partnerships with the Scottish Government. Thank you very much.